Welcome to the University of Hertfordshire, a community nestled in green spaces just north of London. So, where exactly are we? We have two campuses in Hatfield. Getting here is an absolute breeze. We are a 25-minute train ride from London's King's Cross station, and we have direct rail links from Stevenage, Welwyn Garden City, Cambridge and North London. Uno, your university bus service, ensures you can get to campus easily, whether that's from Hertfordshire, Bedfordshire or North London. Discounted fares on the whole of the Uno network and a free shuttle between campuses means it's not just a bus, it's your ticket to independence, exploration and adventure. We are very well connected via the M25 and A1M if you choose to drive. Our nearby park and ride is super convenient, and we also have limited on-campus parking. So, whether you are coming by train, bus or by car, getting here couldn't be easier. Join us at the University of Hertfordshire, where ideas move at a different pace.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another live session with us, EN Global Education Limited. Before we start our live session, let me introduce myself to you. My name is Mohammad Faisal Islam Amir. I'm the Senior International Conversion Manager for EN Global Education Limited, and I look after the international part of our company. So we are EN Global Education Limited. We are global recognized organization, and we have branches across the world. We have three branches in Nigeria, Abuja, Ibadan, and Lagos. We are planning to open another branch in Port Harcourt very soon. And today we are having live session with our one of our prominent partner, none other than University of Hertfordshire. We have University of Hertfordshire with us. We have the regional manager of West Africa, Madam Durodola. Hi, madam. How are you?
I'm very, very well. Thank you so much for having me live today,
Yeah,
myself.
you're most welcome, and thank you very much for giving us time from your busy schedule. Your time is very like valuable for us and for our students as well. So it will be great, like if you introduce yourself and little bit talk about University of Hertfordshire.
Absolutely. So thank you so much for having me live today. Everybody watching from Facebook, YouTube, wherever you are this amazing morning, afternoon, wherever you're watching me from. My name is Bolanle and I work for the University of Hertfordshire. University of Hertfordshire, like Faisal had said, is one of the best and prestigious university that you'll find in the UK. We're just in the east of England, and it means that we're just 25 minutes by train from central London. At the University of Hertfordshire, we offer virtually everything to every international student. And our university is a home to all international students. And what I've seen is student satisfaction at the University of Hertfordshire has remained number one in the last 5 years because of all of the things that we do for international students. We care about you. We don't just want you to come to school to study. We want you to come to school to study, to work, to even if it means to party sometimes you have to. Do you understand? So we want you to feel the university not just like a classroom, but a diverse place that you will come to. The university also hosts so many, religions. It hosts so many countries. So it's not just Nigerian student or Indian student or Pakistan student. We have wide range of international students. So when you go in, you find so many people that you are friends with that would help you, guide you once you get in. So you're not alone. We're all with you when you're coming through this journey.
Okay, that's great. That's good to know about it. So, can you please talk about little bit, University of Hertfordshire history and also about the location and subject that you're offering for the upcoming intakes and the scholarship as well, please.
Okay, so University of Hertfordshire has been in existence for quite a while. We started as a polytechnic and then we went on to be a university, and we've been on for way over 50 years, and we're one of the youngest universities on the 50 years that has top notch of everything that you're looking for. At the university, we offer wide range of courses ranging from business, education, engineering, computer science, life and medical science, nursing, midwifery, social works, paramedic sciences, and next year we're going to be offering medicine. So if you're here and you're thinking, oh, I want to study nursing medicine in the UK, UH will be offering that next year. But right now we offer everything and anything you want to think about. And at the University of Hertfordshire, our entry requirement is quite flexible. So we have
Mhm.
something for every single student. So you're a first class student, we have something for you. You are a 2-1 student, we have something for you. Where you're a third class student, we have something for you. Now, what we try to do is we do not want to limit anybody, because I know how it is studying in Nigeria, and sometimes it can be very, very tiring. And so we want everybody to come on board. And I know that even some students with a third class end up at the university and finish with a distinction. How we teach them. So take for instance, if you have a student with a third class, they come in to do our MSc management with all of its pathways. We teach them in such a way that we make them grab it and come out with distinction. So we don't just, limit anyone. We also have something for people with HND. So I know there are lots of people that had gone to Polytechnic in Nigeria, and some university will say, because you've done Polytechnic, you can't get direct masters. But I have gone to fight all this for Nigerians. They will say that the fact that they've done Polytechnic doesn't mean that they're lesser than we that had gone to the university. So for
Mhm.
Polytechnic, if you're here, you've done OND, HND, we've got you covered at the University of Hertfordshire. If you have anybody here that has studied at Benin Republic, again, we're also going to be considering you. So, like I said, UH is a home for every international student, and will make life easy for you.
Okay, thank you very much for the information. So, students, if you have HND, so no problem. There is course available for you. If you're from Benin Republic, no issue. We have course available for you. So, what you're waiting for? Start dropping application. So, thank you very much for the information, by the way. So, can you please talk about a little bit about the entry requirements as well? Because we'll get a lot of questions from the student about the entry requirements, especially the WIAC requirements and etc. So, thank you.
Okay, so there are lots of entry requirements for certain courses. So I'm going to start with people who have WIAC. Now, if you
Mhm.
have WIAC directly and you want to go study at the university, unfortunately, you won't be able to come to us directly, but you'll be able to go to our partner college, which is called the Hertfordshire International College. If you want to do that, all you need to do is reach out to EN Global. They'll file an application for you with that. Now, that's you having WIAC results. So with that, you will get like a 4 years offer letter that will cover your CAS. Your CAS letter is the document they'll give to you before you apply for visa. It will cover 4 years. And with that, you're able to go coming through HIC, that's Hertfordshire International College, do the foundation year, because you need to bridge the gap between secondary school and the university. So you do the foundation year, you do the international year one, and then you can come to the University of Hertfordshire to do your year two and year three. Now, I'll tell you this. The fact that you are doing your foundation at the University of Hertfordshire International College doesn't make you lesser than student that had gone to University of Hertfordshire. Now, this is it. You have the same thing that you would have even as a full student of the university. The same ID card. The only difference is it will carry HIC. You use the same learning resource center, which is called our library. You use the same Uno boss. You use the same everything. You stay in the same hostel. It's just that the Hertfordshire International College is covered by the principal, while the university is by the vice chancellor. So do not forget, at the university, we're going to be offering you your CAS letter to apply for visa. So it just makes life easy for you. You don't need to bother about anything. You get a 4 years visa as a stretch. If you want to do, like, take for instance, MFAM, and you're coming through foundation, it means that you will come in, do your foundation, do your undergraduate, and do your master's in pharmacy. So that is it for people with work. Now we have people with degree results. So we'll take students with first degree, whatever you have studied, you must have either a 2-1, a 2-2, or a third class for you to come into our direct masters. You know that I mentioned earlier that we have someone with a third class will be able to take you onto the university. So take
Mhm.
for instance, a student had finished with a third class in any other background, minus except law. If you have a third class in any background, you'll be able to take 3 of our courses. And one of the courses is called the outdoor environmental education. Now, this gives you an ability to learn outdoor. And that course, even though it sounds somewhat, now is outdoor is a course that everybody is wanting to come to study because they need there are high demand in job market. Now, students in the outdoor earn between 28,000 pounds and 55,000 pounds upon graduation. Majority of our students that have done outdoor are they've gone on, some are now lecturers, some are working already. People, there's none of them out of a job, and that's with people with HND, with third class. Now, another thing we also look at is MSc. So we have MSc management, we have outdoor environmental education,
Mhm.
we have MSc management with sustainability. So we don't want them to just do MSc management. So they are doing MSc management with sustainability, MSc management with digital marketing, MSc management with logistics and supply chain, and then we have the MSc management. So we have all of those pathways students can pick from, right? So if you
Yeah.
have a third class, these are the courses that you can take from. Now, if you're here and you study law like I studied law, and if you study law like me and you finish with a third class law, we'll take you directly to LLM law. So we don't need you to go on to do something different. If you have passion about law, we know how law is difficult to study. We know if you have a third class in law, it doesn't mean that you're not smart. Anybody with a third class in law, and I can say
Yeah.
this with authority, as good as someone with a 2-1 in business, right? So if you have a third class in law, we'll continue to take you onto our masters in law, any of the pathways for law that you want to take. Now, we also have another entry requirement, which is the HND holders. So if you have HND, now you've gone to Polytechnic, you've done your HND, we'll be more than happy to take you again for this listed course: MSc Management, Outdoor Environmental Education, and MA Human Resource Management. I need you to put this down. So if you're in this category, you can always reach out to the EN Global team to help you out. Now, if you have studied in Benin Republic, now Benin Republic, and you've studied for 4 years, so I see some of people who have studied in Benin Republic with 3 years, and I see some with 4 years. So if you've studied for 4 years, what we need from you is to see that result of 4 years, and we'll take you directly to our masters, which is MSc Management, MSc Outdoor Environmental Education, and MA Human Resource Management. Now, what are the documents you need to produce to us or provide to us for you to make an application? Number one, we need to see your personal statement. What is a personal statement? Personal statement is like a statement of purpose from you telling us or the admissions team that this is who I am. This is what I have studied. This is what I want to study, right?
Yeah.
This is my career path. This is what I intend to do from graduation. So there's a whole lot of things that we need to see in your personal statement. Personal statement can be one page, but please make sure that you write it yourself. Now, the reason why we say write personal statement yourself is it gets you into the system of making an application to the university. You don't want a third party writing this for you, because at the end of the day, when they do it, you are not just part of the process. And when you do apply for visa and you get called for an interview, you will get stuck. So it's always better for you to, even though you have the agent that's going to help you through with your application process, always be part of the system so that you get yourself embedded in it, and it just makes life easy for you. All right. So we need to see your personal statement. Other things we need to see will be your degree result. So
Mhm.
it's either your statement of results, your notification of results, or your degree certificate. We want to see your academic transcript. I know in Nigeria, we're Nigerians, right? In Nigeria, when you finish the university, if you don't go to a private university, you might not get your degree certificate until after 4 years, right? For private universities, you get it immediately, but for public university, it takes us about 4 years to get our degree certificate. But if you don't have your degree certificate, we can work with your statement of results or notification of results in with supported with your academic transcript. We need to see your reference letter. It can be academic, it can be professional, right? We need to see your reference letter. We need to see your WAEC results. So for us at the University of Hertfordshire, we take either WAEC, we take NECO, or we take NABTEP. WAEC, NECO, or NABTEP. If you have any of these three, we're fine with it. We're fine with a C6 in English in any of this platform, except some entry requirement I'm going to list later. All right. So we need that. We need to see your biodata page of international passport. We need to see your CV. It's very, very essential that we see your CV. And please, when you're making an application, it has to be an updated CV so we know that we're working with, your current situation, right? So all of these things, we need to see them outlined when you make an application. Now, some people will ask, oh, but Bolanle, if I don't have all of those documents, can I still make an application? The answer is yes, but make sure that you have, the relevant ones that we can use to assess you and give you like a conditional offer before we then proceed to give you an unconditional offer. Right? Now, we have some certain courses that have different entry requirements, and they'll be nursing. So if you are here, you want to study nursing, or you've ever had passion to study nursing, right? University of Hertfordshire is the best place for you to come and study nursing. What are our entry requirements? If you have a background in sciences, maybe you're here, you've done biotechnology, chemistry, physics, and all of those core science courses, we are good to take you with a 2-2, but you need to have relevant work experience in the healthcare sector, right? You need to have relevant experience in the healthcare sector. It's very, very essential. You have to do an interview with us, right? To determine whether or not we'll be able to give you an offer letter. Now, the good thing about studying nursing at the University of Hertfordshire, right, is that you are registered with the Nursing and Midwifery Council. You don't need to do any other certification. You're graduating, you're getting a job with NHS. It is what we've seen. It is what has happened. And that's why only at the University of Hertfordshire, we will not give discount, any form of discount to nursing students, because they're highly sought after. They finish, they get a job. They finish, they get a job. Now, what of people who had studied another background? Take, for instance, you've done accounting and finance. You've done mathematics. You've done something not related to sciences, and you really have passion to do nursing. Would you be able to do it? The answer is absolutely yes. What I need to see is that you must have a 2-1. 2-1. We need to see work experience in the healthcare sector. So even if it means that you have voluntary experience that will work for us, right? You need to have a reference letter from a hospital to say that you worked with them. We need to see your work reference and your academic reference for us to be able to consider you. Again, you'd have to go through an interview. For nursing, our English requirement is a C6, so you don't need to bother about IELTS. Now, if you're doing social works on the other part, you need to have a relevant experience. You need to have a 2-1, right? And then you would need an IELTS at 7.0 with no band less than 6.5, or you have a B3 in your WAEC or your NECO. So again, for every course, we have several entry requirements. That's for postgraduate. Now, what of undergraduate? I want to come into first year undergraduate. What you need is maybe you have a foundation already from Nigeria, you have A-level from Nigeria, or you have started your university here in Nigeria and you want to transfer that credit to the UK. We will take you on to our first year, because undergraduate at the university is, unlike Nigeria, you could study 5 years, 6 years, 7 years to finish undergraduate. In the UK, is only 3 years. So, yeah, so we can take you from there onto your first year, onto our first year at the university. So that's it about our entry requirements.
Okay, thank you very much for that information. It was quite elaborated one, and obviously, student, if you miss some of the points and if you're joining the live session a little bit late, don't worry. We have a team here in Nigeria for you. You can communicate with us. We have branches across Nigeria, as I told you before. You can communicate with any of our branches located in Lagos, Abuja, and Ibadan. So moving on to the next questions about the scholarship from University of Hertfordshire. Can you please talk about the scholarship available for the upcoming index for the student? Thank you.
Yes, so for us at the University of Hertfordshire, we will have something called the super early bird discount. So if you have a student, you're a student, you want to come to the university, you get up to £2,000 of your tuition fee if you pay your fees on or before the end of April, right? So you pay your fees now, get £2,000 of your tuition fee. Now, so the thing is, what is our deposit at the University of Hertfordshire? Our deposit for you to get a cast letter is £5,000, right? It's
Yes.
£5,000. That's our deposit. But you can actually pay as little as £1,000 to hold your space and get the £2,000 off your tuition fee. We just make sure that you pay the remainder of the 4,000 before we issue cash letter to you. Do you understand? So if you're a student here and you cannot quickly afford the £5,000 and you want to enjoy the £2,000 discount, go pay 1,000, hold your space. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
Then we can work on that for you. Do you get? So that's number one. Number two is that if you decide to pay your fees in full before the enrollment day, you get an extra £1,000. So it'll be a total of £3,000. I see some students say to me, "Omobi, you know what? I just want to pay off my fees. I don't want to have any problem." You get £3,000. But if you don't want to go that route, yes, you get £2,000. But this does not apply to nursing students, like I said earlier, because nursing is highly competitive. The university pays a lot to make sure that our students are retained. So what we cannot, give any sort of discount to nursing. Now, if you are not the graduate student and you want to study for 3 years, the university will give you a total of £4,500. So we'll break it into 3 years. So student will get 1,000 in the first year, 1,005 in the first year, 1,005 in the second year, and 1,005 in the third year. So they can get up to 4,005, in the 3 years of their study with us at the university.
Okay, that's great. Great news for the students. So, if you are holding offer letter now and to secure your scholarship, you can pay 1,000 now and get 2,000 pound scholarship straight away. And
Exactly.
for more, you can contact us, communicate with us anytime. We are available to give you overall idea about how the scholarship works for University of Hertfordshire. Okay, now moving on to the next question that we get a lot, it's about the accommodation facilities. Uh, University of Hertfordshire, can you please talk about the accommodation facilities that you are providing?
Okay, so at the University of Hertfordshire, we have several accommodations on campus,
Hmm.
right? We have two campuses. We have the College Lane and we have College Lane and we have the Land campus. Now, in these campuses, we have accommodations all over the campus. Now, one of the things I tell international students is once you get an offer letter, go book your accommodation. Do not wait. Now, these are the things we have in terms of our accommodation. I don't know if you can see this also on the website. We have several accommodations. So you can get a single and suite, you can get a shared apartment, you can get a room that you share the toilet and bathroom. So there's something for everybody. The cheapest accommodation at the university is about £550 in a month. That's the cheapest. But now, what I've realized is Nigerian students don't book early, so they don't get that slot. So if you're a Nigerian student, you don't want to bother yourself about, oh, I want to commute from this place to this place. I want to pay bills. I want to do anything. Grab the school's accommodation. Grab the school's accommodation. Do not wait. Once you get an offer letter, you pay your fees. Just go ahead to book accommodation. I mean, you're coming for the first time, so you don't need all the luxury. I mean, I was a student at the university. I didn't have luxury. You share. Right now, I can decide to have my room to myself. But at the time I was a student, I couldn't afford to do that. So, guys, when you're coming in, just coming with the mindset that, you know what, I want to come, I want to win, I want to succeed, I want to end up being the best. Do you understand? So don't look at the best of accommodation. Of course, if you can afford it, absolutely fine. So I had a student come to me yesterday and said on Friday and said to me, Bolanle, I want the highest accommodation at the university. I was very glad to give him the highest accommodation, which is the studio apartment that cost about 1,200 in a month. He wanted that because he could afford it. But for people who can afford it, we have something for every single person. So please, once you make an application, you get an offer letter, you pay your initial deposit, go book accommodation before it gets sold out because it gets sold out very fast.
Okay. Is there any student support center available in University of Hertfordshire?
Yes, we do. Now, we're number one for student support. If you go on, and I say to students, go check these things online. Don't listen to what I say all the time because if you listen to me alone, you don't want to go to any other university. So I say to students, go to the website. Not even our website, just go to Google and look out for student satisfaction. We're number one. That's because we have the student support. We have something called the international student support. We have the hoop team up that helps
Mhm.
students with so many things, careers, everything you need to know. If students are struggling with academics, we have a department that would help them. So what we do is we hold the student by their hand to make sure that they do not derail. So we do a whole lot of things to study. All you need to do is ask. If you're having challenges, go to the dean of students. They would help you. They'll point you to the right direction of what you need to do, and life becomes extremely easy for you.
And now let's talk about one thing that I really gets a lot. It's regarding placement years. Does the university offer courses with placement years in University of Hertfordshire?
What did you say again?
The placement years offer course with the placement years.
Yeah, we have quite a number of courses with the placement here. So number one, we have like take for instance, you're doing cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, and robotic software system. We have placement here for those ones. If we have business, international business, we have placement. If you're doing finance and investment, we have placement. If you're doing public relations and digital communications, we have place. So we have some courses with the placement. Now, why do we do placement for students? We do that so that students have some sort of work experience, not just you going to the school to study. We need you to have work experience, and that's added to your CV when you
Mhm.
know eventually finish. Another thing we're doing at the university is we have student internship. So it means that every single student that's studying a master's with us can do internship. Now the internship is not paid, right?
Yeah.
But look at it like this. I'm going to this university. They're giving me access to work with the top conglomerate, to intern with them. It means that once you do that, you have higher chances of getting retained in that place. It will be on your CV. You get a certificate of internship. Now, these places get filled on time. So we say to students, immediately you get your visa, apply for this space. It is very important. So UH is doing so much thing. For us, our employability rate is 78.5. It means that we're top notch for employability. And how did we get there? It's because of everything we put in place. We have a department at the university called the Enterprise Hub. Students need to go there. They do so many things, even to you getting a job and getting support from the university if you want to go into entrepreneurship and all of that. There's everything for every international student at the university.
Okay, thank you very much for all the information. You just talk about the employability rate. My next question was coming about the employability rate for Hertfordshire. So, guys, as you know, that 78% of the students are in the job field after graduating from University of Hertfordshire. That's a huge number. So now we are going to take some questions from the Facebook and YouTube platform. I can see many questions coming in. We have Mr. Muhammad Ali. He's asking, why should we pay deposit now and early?
Okay, so that's an amazing question, Muhammad Ali. Now, one of the things I say to international students is starting early gives you an edge over people who do not start early. Yes, we know that our start date is still in September. But have you thought about it? The UKVI allows international students to apply for visa up to 6 months to start date. So it means that if you apply early, you pay early, you get your card sometimes in April, you apply for visa and you don't think about anything. Now,
Mhm.
if you do not apply early, what I've realized, and from my works of life, start doing this job, is that students who don't apply for visa early tends to get delayed. At the moment, for people going in January, we have about 77 people still awaiting visa, even though the last data start date has passed. That's because they didn't apply early. But the ones that applied early had gotten their visa. So I encourage students. I know you are still going in September, but just do it
Mhm.
now. Do it now. Don't wait until then for you to start off, because then they'll be too late. You'll be too late. Now, you also need to know that you have to do your TB test. Some people go and do their TB test sometime around June, and they realize that they find something wrong with them, even though they were not aware, and then they have to defer to the next academic intake because they have to go through some sort of treatment. So the point is, start early. It's not going to hurt you. It will just make your life easy. You can imagine you pay your fees now, get your CAS letter in April, apply for visa end of April, and get your visa by May. You can focus on any other thing and grab your bag in August and go to school. Rather than you wait till June, pay your fees, now start waiting to make an application. You wait and then you get frustrated that, oh, UKVI is not answering me on time. You are agitated, so many things, you don't even know what to do next. So the point is just start early and make your life easy. See?
True, absolutely true. So, student, you need to start your application now. If you're going for September intake, this is the perfect time to drop your application. And I was just wondering to know, the how long is the offer letter turnaround time from University of Hertfordshire?
So our offer turnaround time is ideally 48 hours, but we can make
Uh,
it faster. So take for instance, if you're a student here and you're like, oh, you've gone through EN Global, which is one of our recognized agents. You go through them, just say to them, we need this offer letter. They'll reach out to me. They know how to reach out to me. I'll turn your offer letter in 24 hours, right? But if
yeah,
not, then
I know
48
that.
hours, we'll get an offer letter for you. Now we have some setting courses that you can get the offer letter in 48 hours, and that will be, our nursing, because you have to go through stages. We have to
Yeah.
send it to tutor has to assess you and then book you for an interview. You do that interview. All of this could take up to 3 weeks, right? But if it's
Mhm.
standard course like business, computer science, engineering, we will turn it around at the most in 48 hours.
Okay, thank you very much for that information. So moving on to the next question, that is from T. Vincent. If I have a third class, do I still enjoy any discount and scholarship?
Vincent, like I said to you, University of Hertfordshire has everything for everybody. We do not take your third, we don't just think you had a top in the class because you're not smart, right? So we will definitely give you scholarship at the University of Hertfordshire up to £3,000. So you're covered.
Okay, so the next questions okay, it's the same person dropped three questions, so we're gonna take one by one. Are there any accommodation facilities available? How expensive are there, if any? So yeah, can you please elaborate about that?
Okay, so Vincent, like I said earlier, we have accommodation on campus, and we have as cheap as 550 in a month, and we have as high as 1,100 in a month. So whatever you pick is what you get. So I would say to students, apply on time. Now, the good thing about our university's accommodation is inclusive of all bills. So you're not having to
Mhm.
pay for water heater, you're not having to pay for internet, you're not having to commute from one place to the other. You have everything on campus, right? And it's that cheap. One of the things I say to students, or one question I always hear from students is, if I'm staying on campus accommodation, would I be able to go out? Can I go to parties? Can I go out to work? Absolutely. You guys are not babies. As long as you're above the age of 18, you have consent from your parents, you can do anything. You have your key to yourself. All we ask for you is do not disturb the next neighbor. You can go come in the middle of the night, do whatever you want to do. You are an adult. Nobody's going to stop you.
Okay. And okay, can I bring my dependent with me? Okay, that's kind of like, yeah.
Okay, so no. So for us at the University of Hertfordshire, we do not have a course with which allows dependents to come in at the moment. That's the MRES.
Mhm.
Again, with your class of degree, even if we had MRES, you wouldn't be able to, because we would only have MSc management, we doesn't have need MRES, and doesn't have MRES. So no. Now, one of the things I also tell students is, and this is, if you want me to do an analysis for you, it's the long analysis, giving this analysis. Like if you're coming with dependents, you need to think about how much you want to put into this journey of bringing your dependents to the UK. Now, the question is, eventually, if you get to the UK without your dependents and you do really well, you get a good job, would you be able to bring your dependents in the future period? The absolute answer is yes. But Nigerians today, I need you to understand that coming with dependents is a lot of investment. I know you don't want to leave your family. I left my family for 6 years, but now I can be with my family. But sometimes you need to, you need to sacrifice things to get the best of it. So give an example. You're going with your dependent. Let's say, okay, just you and your wife. Aside you having to have about 45 million for your fees and living expenses for only one person, you need to get about another 20 million for your wife. You need to pay visa fees that will be about another 10 million naira for both of you, and that's you and your wife. So think about if you have children, look at how much you want to put in place to put that together. So I need you to go and sit down and do an analysis about that. Why don't you go first, focus, get the best job, move to tier 2 visa, and bring your families in? That's the
Okay.
smartest thing, honestly.
That's true. Okay, moving on to the next questions. Mr. Muhammad Ali, payment plan, please.
So at the University of Hertfordshire, you pay £5,000 initial deposit. You have to pay 65% on enrollment, and you pay full fees in January. Now we have an exception for Nigerians. I know Mr. Mohammed Ali is not Nigerian, but for Nigerians, then we have a different, payment plan. So they can reach out to EN Global to find out what the payment plan is. But the standard payment plan is £5,000 now, 65% on enrollment, and full fees in January. Now, some people ask me, "Oh, Omobi, can I pay more? Can I get more payment plan?" Absolutely. So the thing is, if you decide to pay your fees in 20 installments or 30 installments, you can do it. But just make sure that at the time of the liability, you've been able to pay the fee. So if take for instance, we're saying you need to pay 65% on enrollment and you pay 5,000 now, there's where you have £100 go pay. There's why you have £2,000 put in your, it's just put in your student's account. So by the liability date, the money is enough for you and you will not have to struggle.
Okay, so moving on to the next question. It's from Stanley. How can I easily get a job considering the industrialization of Hartfield?
Okay, so for Stanley, thank you so much for that question. Now, with the university, we have our international support system, which helps with job placement. So, number one, we will take you through how to write your CV, how to apply for jobs. We have lots of job fairs at the university. Do you understand? Yes, at the university, we also have something called the handshake. So, as long as you are a student, you have access to handshake, and handshake gives you access to lots of job opportunities, even upon graduation. 3 years after graduation, you still have access to it. So, you just need to put in so much effort, and you won't have any struggle with it.
Okay, so I think you have already covered that part. Can I apply with HND third class?
So what we have with HND is it is upper credit or a lower credit. If you have a third class in HND, then you would have to do something called the top up. That's the final year of undergraduate. But what we'll get is like a lower credit at the lowest to get you directly into masters.
Okay, that's good. Now, next question. It's about, please, how much is the minimum deposit expected?
So
That's
it's
from Vincent. Yeah.
Yeah, so Vincent, that's £5,000. And like I said, as a Nigerian student, you can actually pay 1,000 to hold that space so that you can get £2,000 discount, right? But you would make sure that you pay the difference of the 5,000 before we release cash to you, which will be in April. So right now, if you have an offer letter, just go pay 1,000 so that you can get £2,000. I don't want any student losing £2,000 is like 4 million naira in Nigeria right now. You don't want to lose that. So pay that, hold the space, and then you can pay the remaining 4,000 before we issue cash letter to you.
Now, the next question is from Ruth. Can someone with HND lower credit apply for direct masters?
Absolutely, Ruth. If you have HND with lower credit, we'll be more than happy to take you for our direct masters in MSc management, MSc management with sustainability, MSc management with digital marketing, MSc
Mhm.
management with supply chain, and we can also take you for MSc outdoor environmental education or MA human resource management.
Then we have question from Chidinma. When is the deadline to pay the deposit to get the discount?
So right now, it's the end of April, 30th of April.
Okay. So if you are holding offer letter, please make a deposit now to get that discount. And remember, April is the last date, so do it now. So moving on to the next question, that's Lola. Lola. Okay. Can University of Hertfordshire from next year work on April May intake?
Absolutely. So good news is from next year we're going to have April May intake. It's going to be called the May intake. So what we try to do is from next year what we want to do is because some people might fall out in January, so we're able to move them into May intake. So yes, that's going to happen in 2026. Certainly
Okay,
gonna
that's a
happen.
good news. I know that it's good news if you're planning to apply for May intake. We have May intake available for University of Hertfordshire. So now let's concentrate on September intake, right? Okay, so Stanley, please, I want to go for September intake. Are you saying it's safe for me to start running my POF?
Okay,
Okay, proof of work.
Stanley, I don't want you to run your POF until first week of April, right? Now, the reason is I don't want you to be in a fix. What we are doing is we're moving students up through the next stage. And one of the things we do at the university is do credibility interview. So by first week in April, we're going to start issuing casts. So even if you want to run your statement, your bank statement, don't run it until maybe third week in March. So by third week in April, you're able to apply for visa. So do not do that until end of March or beginning of April. If you run it
Okay,
now, it will be there's no point because you would have to run it for about 2 months. Another thing I need you guys to do is if you know you're going in September, just do your TB test from April too, so that you get everything together and then you can apply for visa and have no
okay,
issues.
okay. So student can start their proof of fund from third week of April. That's what you're saying,
Or,
right? And
so
also
third
saying,
March or first week of April.
okay, third week of March and first week of April, and
Yes.
same for the TB test as well. So April
Yes.
will be the safest time to
Yes,
do the
TB
TB
test
test.
is April. I don't want you doing your TB test in March because TB test is valid for 6 months, so it's
6 months.
best for
Yeah.
you.
Okay, that's good. Great. Uh, and yes, same person. Please, I need my question to be answered. It's important. Okay, we have covered most of your. Okay, one of his question is like, will I get cash by April?
We want to aim to issue everybody's. I mean, we want to aim to issue as many people's casts as possible by April. So once you move through stages, we'll issue your cast. Once you get an offer letter, pay your deposit, get EN Global to reach out to me. I'll move you through the stages, and so you
Okay,
can get that by April.
okay, okay, Stanley. I hope we have answered your all of your questions. I can see you dropped one question like requesting to answer your questions. Now moving on to the another question. This is from Shaju. It's from YouTube. How is the environment in the classroom in your university MSc management with digital marketing, and is there any possibility of getting a job in UK after studying this subject?
That's a very good question, right? Shan, so the environment for MSc management is a large environment. MSc management is by far, I think, the largest class you will see in the university. And students on the MSc management route get very good jobs. So during my live session, the last live session I had a student who had studied MSc management with us and is working with a top shot organization right now. He's a data analyst, right? So the point is you have to put yourself out there regardless of the course you do, whether it's MSc management, whether it's nursing, whether it's computer science. You need to put yourself out there. Work with the careers team at the university. Don't get tired of working with them. If they tell you this is how they need you to write your personal statement, your CV, please go ahead with that. There are lots of job fairs. Attend job fairs. Do not get tired if you attend one and they do not give you that job. Just continue to do it. Be proactive. Sometimes you might even want to offer voluntary work. It's like I want to volunteer to work with you guys. And then one of the things I've seen is students who volunteer get a job very easy because they're happy that this person has taken it upon themselves to come and work with them and it works well. So regardless of the course you study at the university, you will get a job. Just be smart.
Okay, okay, that's a great suggestion from your end, and I hope Kamal, Mr. Kamal, I think you already got your answer. So let's move on to the next question. That is from Akoma. Would Hertfordshire take a pass in HND?
No, we wouldn't take a pass in HND. We will take the lowest we will take is a lower credit, but not a pass.
Okay, okay, okay. That was the last question from the student perspective and from the social media perspective as well. So we are almost end of this live session. Thank you very much for attending this session, Bolani. It's really means a lot. And do you want to say anything to the student before we end up this live session?
Thank you so much, Team EN Global, for bringing me here. And to every single student, we do not take it for granted that you've decided to make a decision to wanting to go. And like I say to people, I say this very well, it's always good to make this decision. Coming to the UK is going to be the best decision that you've made. I've had students come to me and said to me, we wish we started this journey earlier. So do not wait till tomorrow. Start now and start earning in pounds. Start earning in pounds. Do not mind how much you're going to put into it. Eventually, you're going to thank yourself for doing it. I can't wait to see you guys at the University of Hertfordshire come September. We're always here to support you. Do not forget, EN Global is one of our best agents that we work with. Always go to them. They have amazing qualified staff that help you through your process. And we'll see you at the University of Hertfordshire in September.
Thank you very much, Bolanle. Thank you very much coming to this live session. Students, if you are anywhere from Nigeria, you can contact us. Our number is scrolling behind below, so you can call us and start your application process. Our team will help you to do the application. Whatever the documents, they will ask it for you. You just need to submit the documents and start the application process. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Bolanle. Bye bye. Bye bye.
Bye, everyone. Have an amazing week ahead.